Listen, success or failure depends on the leader. Life or death depends on the leader. People die due to poor leadership. Organizations fail due to poor leadership. Organizations don't do well because there's no protection. So how are you going to protect your dreams? How are you going to protect your interests? How are you going to protect your inheritance that God has called for you? But it starts with you. So it's go time. Let me coach you through your pain. Let me coach you through this identity crisis so you can stand up in your God-given right and be the protector and leader that you're called to do. This is part 1. Stay tuned because part 2 is coming. Leaders make the difference in life or death. If you've been on this earth long enough that you understand exactly what I'm saying, that's a fact. People have died because of poor leadership. Or you're a leader of your household, you have to get leadership right because it's the difference maker in a chaos situation. It's the difference maker in a storm. How you lead can change the outcome. The first thing that you got to do is you got to come into your role as a protector. In the very beginning, God called us to be a protector. In Genesis 2, he said, take care. That's what we are here to do, is to protect, to take care. And I understand that maybe you didn't always have it the right way when you were supposed to be protected. Whether that was being protected from trauma in your childhood, whether that was being protected from trauma in your adulthood, whether that was being protected in the middle of a conference room when you're giving your ideas, whether that's someone that's supposed to protect your dreams. I understand that you didn't always feel protected yourself, but if you just learn from the times that you weren't protected, you can apply that in the future. You could be a better leader, a better protector in the future if you capitalize on it, but you got to learn from it. I'm telling you from my own experience. There were times where I didn't feel protected as a child. There were times where I didn't feel protected as an adult. There were times I didn't feel protected in a conference room. There were times I didn't feel protected in certain organizations. But I'm telling you, learning from those things have helped me come into who I am today as a leader, who I was 10 years ago as a leader. And I've just built upon that over time. Or Shackelton's Way, the book, is one of my favorite books, and I've read it over and over years and years and years. And in this book, so he says, it's like the second page of this book, that he owned being a protector. He grew up in a large family, and so for him, he had to learn that. He had one brother and then like 6 sisters or 8 sisters or stuff. Like, he had a large family, y'all. And so he had to learn how to be a protector as a young boy. And that's one of the first things that he did. And that's how he started coming into his role in the future. And if you don't know much about John Shackelton, in this book, Shackleton's Way, he's given leadership lessons. Him and his crew of 27 were stranded in the Antarctic for nearly 2 years, y'all. Freezing temperatures, dire situation, something that seemed impossible to survive, but he had principles that he used along the way that helped the survival of his crew and that we've been learning from years after year after year after year. So even as we talk more about this, there's just so much to gain from it. Like, you see me every day showing up with passion because you have to pursue your interests with passion, y'all. That's the second thing he did. And he talks about it. He said he pursued his interests with passion. And passion helps you see your commitments all the way to the end. Whether it's success or failure, you can learn something in it. And some of you are afraid to see your commitments to the end because you're afraid of what failure may look like. What happens if I fail? What happens if I don't succeed? What happens if I don't reach the outcome that I desired? Well, I'll tell you what happens. You learn from it and you move forward. You take something from it and you grow. You take something from it and you move up. You take something from it and you share those lessons with the remainder of your organization. You share those lessons with your teammates. You share those lessons with your classmates. You share those lessons with your peers, and then you all move up together. So that way everyone doesn't continue making the same mistakes or going through the same hardships. But you have to learn something from it. So stay committed to the things that you put in front of you. Stay committed to the plan. He saw his commitments to the end, y'all. He said, hey, I made a commitment. I put a lot of energy into this plan. And whether I succeed or I fail, I'm going to learn something from it. And the only way to see that all the way through is that you have to pursue it with passion. You got to be all in. You can't be half in and half out. And then another thing he did was he read broadly, y'all. He read broadly to find wisdom. And we've got phones, we got computers, we got television, and there's so much that's happening on all of these media platforms. Some of it is good, And then some of it's not. Some of it is nonsense. And the amount of time that you might spend scrolling on your phone through nonsense, imagine if you utilize that time to pour into your interest. Imagine if you utilize that time to pour into your passions. Imagine if you utilize that time of scrolling through nonsense to just build your character, to work on self-development, to work on organizational development. Imagine if you utilize that time of nonsense to just build. Stop wasting time, y'all. Like, we got 24 hours in a day. And I'm telling you that, like, in 24 hours, like, I'm not all passion all 24 hours. There are times where I'm tired, y'all. There are times where I'm just like, all right, I need a minute to get myself together. I need a minute to get up. Like, look, y'all, like, I got a large family, and then I'm a leader in an organization. Like, it is full time to recognize opportunities. And then as you're focused on those new horizons, now you can take advantage of it. So many opportunities are passing you by. Do you know why? So many opportunities are passing you by because you don't recognize them. You don't recognize them because you're reading nonsense all day. Stop with the nonsense. You're not able to seize opportunities because you're not looking at the new horizons, what may be coming towards us in the future. I would tell you, I got some friends who handle money very well. And they handle money very well because they do those two things. They are able to recognize opportunities, and they are able to seize opportunities, whether that's in the stock market, whether that's with crypto, like you name it. They're able to invest well because they're able to recognize new horizons. And so if you're not reading broadly, and if you're not in a place where you're keeping an eye on new horizons, then you're not going to do very well in your organization. You're not going to do very well in your personal life. And so you have to apply those things as well. And then I need to tell you something else, y'all. You got to turn your setbacks into opportunities. Stop sitting with failures in your lap. You got to turn setbacks into opportunities. Just because something didn't go your way, just because something didn't work out the way that you thought it was supposed to work out, just because the situation didn't end the way that you wanted it to end, it doesn't mean that you have to just say, okay, that's it, no more, and just walk away from it. Take something from it. It took something from you. It took something from you, so you take something back. You poured some struggle into that. You poured some pain into that. You poured some sweat into that. You put some tears into that. So don't let it just take everything from you. You just walk away. You take something back. When you turn a setback back into an opportunity, that's how you take something back. But don't let those setbacks just handicap you. Don't let those setbacks just cripple you. Don't let those setbacks make you just sit down and lay on the floor. It ain't time to just roll over. As long as you got breath in your body, your dreams still got life in it. So keep the life in your dreams, keep the passion in your dreams, keep pouring it in there, and don't just sit with your setbacks. It took something from you, so you take something back. It's time to go. Let's go. Here's some other stuff, y'all. He was bold in his plans. He was bold in his plans, but he wasn't careful when it came to his execution because he paid attention to the details. Stop just rolling a plan out and just letting it go, but pay attention to the details along the way so you can learn things along the way, y'all, and improve along the way. Because as you iterate, as you find ways to receive feedback and iterate that feedback into the plan, like you're making the plan better along the way. And then some other stuff that we don't even think about is that he found ways to improve the morale. If you're in a household, your household is sad all the time, or if you're in your organization, like everyone's just like, like this all the time, you got to find a way to boost the morale. You got to find a way to connect with everyone. One of the ways that you connect with people is showing that you care, showing an interest in the things they're interested in. That's the easiest thing that you can do, is be serious about it. And say, you know what, I am interested in the things that you're talking about. Let's discuss this more. Or just doing a follow-up. Hey, I know you said something, about, participating in the 5K, you're going to do this, hey, how's that going for you? Like, show some genuine interest. Get to know their family members. Ask about their family. Ask about how they're doing. Ask about, what they plan to do in the future. Ask them about what they're interested in. Like, you show some real interest. That alone, that one thing alone is going to help boost morale, because now people know that you care. Now people know that you're invested, and they're going to invest back in you. They're going to invest back in the organization. They're going to invest in the plan, and they're going to help you see that plan to the end. They're going to help you see that plan through its commitment to the end, because now they care about the plan because they know that you care about them. So how are you showing that you're there for others? How are you showing that you're there for your organization? How are you showing that you're there for your classmates? How are you showing that you're there for your teammates? It's time for us to turn this thing around, y'all, and it's time for us to find some success. Let's go. You're born a protector. Fall into that.